Hey, welcome back everyone. It's Andrew, and Laney is also here today at Microphonic Designs here at Irving High School with my buddy Emilio Pla, the director of percussion over here, and we have just finished their 2025 audio system setup. And so as always, we're going to take a look at how we have things set up today to ease the curious minds there at home, and also so that we have the reference video to look at next year when we're getting them all set up. So let's start with the mixer. If you've not seen any of the videos I've done for Irving in the past, they are set up with a Yamaha LS9 32. So this is a 32 channel mixer. This is kind of akin to the 01V 96i. It's like the 32 channel version of that. It's a little bit different, but a lot of these controls are the same. And it does have a dedicated app for tablets so that we can get in here with the Netgear router and make adjustments as needed so that we're able to make changes from up top. I've got over here marimbas are channels 1 through 8, so these are all grouped together, and we should probably get some strips down here so that we can know what we're looking at. Vibes are channels 9 through 12, and then we've got channels for synth 1, and we also have extra channels for a possible synth 2 if they decide to do that, but the synth it's a dual synth setup, so 2 MIDI controllers into 1 computer, and we've just opted to go ahead and use a single pair of left-right outputs, so we're mainly going to be using this here. And then we've got channels for 2 soloists here that plug in to channels 17 and 18 in the back there, the red and double red. So whether they use their wireless units, which they have 2 Shure SLX-D4s in the G58 band, whether they use these or a sideline mic, this is where they would plug in, is number 17 and 18 in the back of the board. So they have the option to do that, or a sideline mic. All of the settings in here are pretty much what I use for the Yamaha TF console. So I referenced my TF series checklist, got most of the stuff that's on that checklist in here. There's a few differences that we didn't really need to worry about, but the bulk of it is here. And then we're only doing a single left and right output. So instead of doing a separate subwoofer send, we're just using the main master stereo channel here to feed our amplifiers down below, where we've got a Yamaha PX5 to power our top speakers and a P5000S for the subs. And they just recently, well, fairly recently, got a set of the Titan Field Frames single speaker frames. The MUFFS is the model number. And then they've got, what is this? It's the Yamaha CM15Vs and the CW118V down below. So classic combo. Can't go wrong with it. I mean, these speakers have been around the marching band scene for a long, long time, well over a decade. So we know what we're working with, and they sound good. We also have down below a backup battery. Looks like this one is by CyberPower, but I'm not sure the exact model. And then I believe the synth cart also has one of these backup batteries, which is helpful because they're running a Mac Mini over there. And even for the mixer cart here, it helps to have the mixer powered on and the Wi-Fi powered on before they take to the field, to make sure they have that Wi-Fi connection in case they need to make any adjustments on the fly, which of course they wouldn't do during competition, right? Because a kid has to do it, but he can at least have eyes on what that kid is doing and what scene we're on and everything. We have 2 snakes. We've got the first snake coming over here, which carries the signal for marimbas 2, 3, and 4. So again, we do have 4 marimbas. And channel 7 and 8 for this snake, because we have an 8-channel modular snake by D'Addario, is taken up by vibes 3 and 4. So I've got these 3 marimbas and those 2 vibes tied in. And you'll see this is my super standard way of doing the breakout cable, the modular snake. And we've got the blue and double blue here for marimba 4, and then the yellow and the green back there with a cabling bundle coming up from the back row vibes there. So the vibes will just plug in over that way. And you'll notice how I've separated these out. If you're doing your own cabling at home, I highly recommend you separate these plugs out. So instead of having all 4 of these all together in the same spot, have the ones for the marimba over a little bit towards the center, and then have the ones that go to the back row further towards the back row. That just helps keep things a little bit more streamlined. The other snake carries the signals for marimba 1, vibes 1 and 2, and then all the synth channels. So again, right now, we're only using 2 synth channels for both parts. So the synth parts for synths 1 and 2 are sharing the same left and right output. They're being mixed together within main stage and plugging into the yellow and double yellow. But we do have the green and double green prepped just in case they decide to use the extra outputs on their audio interface, for which they have a Focusrite Scarlett 18i6, so it has 4 total outputs. And then we've got Marimba 1 plugging in here with yet another cabling bundle to the purple and double purple, which I went to Lowe's to restock and they did not have red, so I grabbed the closest thing I could. And then we've got Vibes 1 and 2 right here with the white and blue, again with another cabling bundle coming from the back row. Now, we actually added a keyboard to the setup this year, and we were short 2 AT2035s, but guess what? They had leftover SM57s, which work great. So I went ahead and pulled some bungees from the stash that I had and hung these on the Musser Vibe. So we've got an SM57 here on the Musser frame, and then we've got the same thing on the side 2 Musser frame. So it's basically the exact mirror opposite of what's over there. So the 2 Mussers have the 57s, and then the 2 Yamaha Vibes have the 2035s. So that's what we got going on. And then for the synth rig, we've got a Nectar Panorama T6 as our, I think this is the Synth 1 keyboard. Yeah. And we've just got that connected to the Mac Mini. There's the Focusrite 18i6 monitor speaker. And so you'll see we've got this sort of, I think this is a home, no, it's a Jarvis frame is what this is. And then we've got oh, this is old school, the Tough Carts, which I think now is Titan. But this is the height adjustable open synthesizer frame. Up here we've got a Juno DS, and I believe this is connecting over with a MIDI cable, a 5-pin MIDI cable. And then we also have, for the Snake coming over this way, a power cable attached to it so that in one single run, we've got the Snake and the power coming over here. So you'll see on the main synth cart, we've got the power cable here that plugs in to the power cable connected to the Snake. So real straightforward. This is very similar to how we've had Irving the last couple years, but we did have to shift the cabling diagram, like the layout, because we added that 4th marimba down there. And thanks to the extra stash of 57s, everybody was able to get mics today. We did sound check. Levels are coming through great. Nice, strong sound levels coming in, and I have a feeling when they plug in for full ensemble, they're going to have to pull those levels down a little bit, which is always preferable. I would rather have to turn stuff down than try to turn stuff up. So I think that's a good place to be because we have the power that we need. So let me know if you've got questions about this setup down below or comments about it. And of course, if you yourself would like to get some help with your front ensemble's audio system, please feel free to reach out. You can reach me directly. It's andrew@microphonicdesigns.com. That's the email address you can reach me at, or you can go to the website, microphonicdesigns.com/contact. I've got the form you can fill out with a bunch of details if you prefer. If you're a fan of phone calls, I've got a phone call booking thing on there through the Google system. So either way, please, I invite you to get in touch. This is something that we want to lift off of your plate. I would rather you be able to focus on your students or getting stuff prepped. Today, Emilio was working on a head change and tuning snare guts, you know, like that's what I want you guys to be able to focus on, is that stuff instead of the audio stuff. So get in touch. We'd love to help you out. And until next time, I'll see you then. Peace.